Listen, I don't know who needed to hear this right now, but right now, what you got to understand is there's going to come a time in life where people have to stop being loyal to you. I'm going to repeat that for again. There's going to come a time in life when people have to stop being loyal to you. Why? Because what God wants you to understand, when the first sign of betrayal comes, when the first time a person shows their true colors, when the first time a person says something that goes against what you think and what you believe in, God is showing you that He doesn't want you to belong in those places. He doesn't want you to belong with those people. What God wants you to understand is betrayal is needed so that you can know what not to surround yourself with and what to not go back to. If people don't show you their true hand, if people don't show you their true traditions, if people doesn't show you who they really are, you will tend to have comfort in a place in which God will settle. And what God wants somebody to understand, He does not want you to settle. If you a person where you know there are times where you're in a relationship, where you're in a friendship, the fact that you detected that jealousy, detected that envy, or detected that something was off, I want you to understand right now, you was not off. There was nothing wrong with what you was thinking. But what God wants you to understand, God wants somebody to understand, you must pay attention to the clues that He's been allowing you to see. The enemy wants you to think that you deserve to be in a place where people belittle you, where people have jokes that you know that have secret truths in when it comes to telling things about you. What God wants you to understand, God doesn't give you a spirit of fear, but a love, power, and sound mind. You deserve to be in an environment that has love, power, and a sound mind. And what does that mean? That is a relationship. That's a friendship. That is whatever it is when it comes to how you govern yourself. God wants you to understand you are the company that you keep. If you're tired of the company that you're keeping, then you must change yourself. And when you ask God to remove the people, places, and things that are around you, guess what? He's going to place you in a season of isolation. In this season of isolation, God wants you to understand that the betrayal is the first sign in which He wants you to come and use that to come to Him. He wants you to tell all the ways in which you feel as you've been betrayed, whether you've betrayed yourself, whether somebody betrayed your trust, whether somebody did something that was undermining, in which God will use all for you to come to Him. Because those are the first signs in which God wants to pull you in a different direction. He wants you to pull. See, what people have to understand, everybody's not meant to be in your life for a lifetime. Some people are meant for reasons, lessons, and blessings. People can be an addition to your life. People can show you what not to do. Because what God wants you to understand, the people that He's allowed you to be around were showing you who you were becoming, what you are doing. We as people connect with the people with the level that we're on. So whether you want to accept it or not, there's something that is going on that God wants you to see. Because when you can't see yourself, God will put people in front of you to show you where there's a resemble, to show you why it is important to understand. And we as people know it as trauma bonds. The purpose of a trauma bond is so that you could bring awareness to yourself. It's where two people who are going through the same things or have the same type of trauma or have the same way of thinking or in the same type of addiction, they form a bond and they're supposed to look at each other and see themselves and see what they need to correct. God does not want you to intend to let a trauma bond last a lifetime, because God wants you to understand people, places, and things are placed in your life for a particular time. Consult God. Ask God what is what and who is who. Ask God to reveal the spirits of the people, places, and things around you, and ask Him to reveal the spirits that abides within you so that you can correct them, so that you become familiar with them. Because the more that you work on yourself, if you work on yourself, which means if you put God in everything in your life, if you put God in everything that you do, the moment you start doing that, God will activate Himself within you, and then you will be removed from people, places, and things that's not doing what you're doing. So be mindful and know that that betrayal is the first sign in which God wants you to know that He has a different season, a different thing that He wants you to do. Stay blessed. God loves you, so do I. Peace.